You know what hurts the most right now? It's not losing to PSG. It's not even that 4-1 humiliation in Seville. It's watching a team wear the Barca badge, but forget what it means. That's what breaks me, Culers. Because right now, the biggest talking point in Barcelona isn't some new signing or tactical revolution. It's pain. The kind that seeps in quietly, match after match, until you can't even celebrate a goal without wondering, is this really Barca anymore? Let's be honest. 2 defeats in a week, PSG and Sevilla. And suddenly all the air in this new Hansi Flick era feels heavy. Against Paris, we fought. We genuinely fought. Lamine Yamal came back from injury, looked sharp, and for a moment you could feel the flicker of that old Barca fire. But then, Gonzalo Ramos kills us in stoppage time. Another lesson, another heartbreak. And then Sevilla. That one hurt more, because that was supposed to be winnable. That was supposed to be the response. But what we got instead was a team that looked tired, uninspired, and disconnected from the essence of what makes this club special. I know. 7 games in 22 days is brutal. But Culers, this isn't just about fatigue. This is about intensity, about what it means to wear the shirt. Barca can lose. We've all seen that before. But when we lose without soul, that's what kills us. You could see it in the numbers too. Pedri, who usually averages over 110 touches a game, had just 64. Not because he was lazy, but because the team didn't move for him. No triangles, no rhythm. The Barca way wasn't there. And if you've been watching long enough, you know exactly what I mean by that. The Barca way isn't tiki-taka for the sake of it. It's control, intention, bravery. The belief that every player on the pitch is part of a living, breathing organism. Against Sevilla, that connection was gone. Now look, I'm not jumping on the Flick-out bandwagon. Not yet. Hansi Flick walked into a fractured club. Financially wounded, emotionally drained, and still carrying ghosts of the Messi era. But we can't pretend this team looks coherent. There's no pressing structure, no verticality, and no one capable of changing the game when Yamal's not there. And that's the part that scares me. Our dependency on an 18-year-old. Let's talk about him. Lamine Yamal, the kid who's carrying the soul of La Masia on his shoulders. He's out again now, groin injury relapse. And the whole Yamal Spain fiasco just exposed how little control we actually have. Luis de la Fuente naming him for World Cup qualifiers when he was clearly unfit. It's reckless. This isn't about protecting a star boy. It's about protecting a future that defines who we are as a club. You know what's worse? Flick literally warned about this last month. He said Yamal took painkillers just to play for Spain. Imagine that, an 18-year-old playing through pain because neither the federation nor the system knows when to say enough. And when Flick spoke out, he was criticised. People said he was overreacting. No. He was doing what any real Barca man would do, protecting one of our own. Because Yamal isn't just a winger, he's a reminder. A reminder of La Masia's heartbeat, of Messi's first steps, of what football should feel like when you play it with joy and courage. About the Camp Nou situation. That's another wound. We were supposed to come home this season. We were supposed to play that Gamper trophy at our house, even if it was at reduced capacity. But bureaucracy, permits, and the city council have delayed everything. Instead of that emotional homecoming, we're still bouncing between stadiums. Montjuïc, Johan Cruyff, temporary stands, empty seats. Barca without Camp Nou is like poetry without rhythm. You can hear the words, but the music is gone. The players feel it too. You can sense it in their energy. Playing at Montjuïc never feels like home, no matter how many banners we hang. The chants echo differently. The roar after a goal doesn't shake the ground like it used to. Camp Nou was alive. Montjuïc feels borrowed. Financially, it's also bleeding us. Fewer seats, fewer tickets, less matchday revenue. And that means Flick's working with a limited squad. Smaller, thinner, and way less experienced than we need. Think about it. Rashford, Pedri, Joan Garcia, all promising signings, but we lost Inigo Martinez, one of the few leaders at the back. Now our defence looks like a patchwork experiment every game. Pau Cubarsí, just 18, is playing roles he's not even meant to, switching sides, adapting on the fly, doing a man's job before he's even finished being a teenager. And still, through all this chaos, there's something beautiful. Pedri stepping up. Flick asked him to be a leader, and slowly, you can see it happening. He's no longer just the golden boy who links passes. He's barking orders, driving the press, asking for the ball when no one else dares. That's Barca's future. Not just talent, but personality. Because Culer's, our crisis isn't tactical, it's spiritual. Why we play the way we play. Why we suffer the way we suffer. Why we care this much. But here's the thing, hope isn't dead. It's fragile, yes, but it's there. In the way Gavi shouts after losing the ball. In the way Yamal smiles when he beats a man. In the way Pedri lowers his head, quietly carrying the weight of the shirt without complaining. This generation, they're raw, inexperienced, but they feel it. And Flick, for all his flaws, isn't blind to that. He's trying to build a mentality again, one that's not about stars or transfers, but about hunger. You know, people keep comparing this period to the post-Ricard collapse, or even the early 2000s, but I think it's different. This isn't just about form, it's about finding our identity in a new world. Football today is built for money, for clicks, for brands. But Barca was never meant to be a brand. Barca was meant to be a mirror of Catalan spirit, of rebellion, of beauty, of something higher than just winning. That's why, when we see the team play without intensity, it hurts in a way that other clubs' fans can't understand. Because for us, this isn't just football. It's cultural, it's existential, and right now, we're in that ugly transition. The kind where you have to burn a little before you rise again. We don't have the depth. We don't have the money. We don't even have a home. But we still have the one thing that can't be taken. The belief that Barca will always find a way to return to itself. So maybe this international break is what we need. Time for Yamal to recover. Time for the squad to breathe. Time for Flick to reset. Because come October 26, El Clasico, that's not just another match. That's a test of who we are. Not just technically, but spiritually. Do we still believe? Do we still play for each other? Do we still carry that flame that was lit by Cruyff, guarded by Pep, reignited by Xavi, and now waiting to be reborn under Flick? Coolers, we've seen darker times. We've seen boardroom chaos, transfer bans, Neymar sagas, Super League embarrassments, Messi's tears. And still, every single time, we've come back. This time will be no different if we stop pretending we're fine and start rebuilding from the heart. We don't need miracles, we need meaning. We don't need signings, we need soul. So yeah, things are bad right now. But you and I both know Barca's story has always been written through pain. And maybe, just maybe, this is the suffering that shapes the next generation. Because at the end of the day, Som y serem Barça. Always have been, always will be.